What's up, everybody? It's Meech. You're tuned into On the Radar, where we cover health, fitness, and tech. Currently on the radar is the Comica CVM-AX3. I always get the numbers and the letters. I think that's right. It's an audio mixer that can be used for DSLR or mirrorless cameras. I'm going to try to explain as simple as possible what this thing does. Basically, it allows you to connect multiple microphones to your camera when recording. It's great for me, for instance. I shoot a lot of interviews, and I always like to either record backup audio files, whether it be for editing, for reference, or just in case something happens to my main audio. You always need backup audio, especially when you don't have somebody that's monitoring the audio for you. I'm always shooting, like now, it's just me and the camera. I can see the levels, but I don't, I can't monitor everything. So this is good to be able to, use a backup audio if you don't have a separate camera running. So anyway, it's also good, if you're recording multiple people and you can only hook one microphone to a camera. So you can be able to do different things like split the audio into different files, meaning you can run one microphone on the left side, one microphone on the left side, and then, be able to EQ the vocals so that you can match up. Sometimes one person's speaking louder than the other person. They just have a different vocal way of, projecting their voice. And if it's all on the same track, there's very little you can do. So this allows you to have more flexibility with that also. First off, you can mount it on the top or the bottom of your camera. You have a 20-inch, a quarter 20-inch attachment on the top, and it has this screw wheel so that you can fasten it and tighten it mount it tightly. And then you have the hot shoe mount at the bottom. You have cold shoe mounts on both sides, so you can attach microphones if you're mounted at the top of the camera. You can attach all your other stuff to it, and you can even attach 3 microphones and, a lavalier, a microphone, a lavalier receiver, I should say, or a light. It just gives you the flexibility to put other things on top of it. You have a 3.5 millimeter mic inputs, as well as your XLR ports. You have line, mic, and phantom options. On the other side, you have the audio out, auxiliary, and headphone jacks, along with power on and off. Your mono and stereo switch, and your left and right gain knobs. Let's look at the 3.5 millimeter cable. You can plug it into line out on your mixer and into your mic port onto your camera. That's the way you get set up initially. I want you guys to direct your attention to the audio levels right here. So what you're currently seeing, you're seeing the bars from the left and the right. So excuse me, because as I'm talking, I got to make sure I'm talking into the microphone. So if I'm dipping, bear with me. So as you can see, you see the bars. You're getting audio levels from both the left and the right channels, right? So you have both microphones running, one on the left channel, one on the right channel. If I take this one out, you'll see currently I'm not getting any audio from this one. You're only getting audio from this, which should be, if I remember correctly, is running on the left channel. No, this is the right channel. So as you can see, the Rode Mic Pro is picking up the audio here. Now, obviously, now this one is running on the left side. It's only picking up this microphone. So what you can be able to do in this situation is, you can EQ, if you're doing a 2 microphone setup, you can EQ your levels. Let me plug them back in. So you can be running one person on this microphone on the left channel, the other microphone is on the second person on the right channel, and it can allow you to be able to EQ your levels. This way, sometimes if you're doing interviews, or just whatever you're doing, vlogging or whatever, one person's louder, one person, you can use these knobs, turn the volumes up and down. You can have versatility over your audio files. Now at the same time, I can take this one, which is a lavalier microphone, also plug that in with the XLR cables, and where's my lavalier? So what I can do is add, with this one, with my lavalier setup, my particular lavalier setup, it has 2 microphones. So let's say these 2, let me plug it in. Let me start it up. Okay, so we should be running. I'm going to show you. I'm going to plug these 2 out so that you can see we're running on the lavalier microphone. And let me just make sure from the levels that we were definitely getting levels. All right, so as you can see, Now we're running with the lavalier microphone. So if I was doing an interview, for instance, this would be my main audio files. So with my setup, like I said, I can set up 2 lavaliers. So I have 2 people, they're both talking, and I'm capturing the audio. Now I could use this one as a backup, so that, you know, typically I always use backup to capture the backup audio. It helps me when I'm syncing, it helps me when I'm doing different things, if I'm doing different camera angles and stuff. So you definitely, and just in general, if for some reason, you know, you always need backup audio. So this could be my backup, and I could be running my mains on, let's say, the left channel. I can run this one on, let's say, the left channel. I think I said that right. You know what I'm saying? So it gives you that versatility. Now you can take it a step further. If I'm running the lavaliers with my mains, I could have that, let's say the lavaliers would be on the left channel. I could take both of these and put them on the right channel, for instance. And I could mix it up like that. Or I can take the main lavalier, so that's 2 people. I can take this one and have it in front of somebody else. Because remember, you don't have to have all these mounted. You know, you can always have it somewhere else as long as it's connected. And you can have it, if for instance, I only have 2 lavalier microphones. If I'm doing something with 3 people, I would take this microphone, sit it in front of the 3rd person. Now I'm capturing that audio. Now let's say for some reason, and this typically happens, I'm behind the camera, but sometimes I get involved in the conversation. I'm behind the camera, I'm not capturing any audio of myself. So the people in the room may be able to hear me, but you on camera, you can't hear me. So my part of the conversation is lost. It kind of makes that, you know, type of conversation awkward. So I can just keep this microphone here, and then this one is pointed behind the camera, is capturing my audio. So I'm capturing all these different audio sources in this one, through this one device, whereas typically you plug one thing into your camera and that's the only audio source that you're picking up. So the point is, this just gives you a ton of versatility. It has the aux cable in the back. I'm not even going to get into the different things you can do with that, but it also has the headphone jack so that you can monitor your audio. You can hear what's coming out the left, what's coming out the right. You can hear what's coming out both. It has the mono and stereo features. It has the phantom power, and you know, it's just so versatile. So you can capture official, professional quality audio with whatever you're doing. So again, this is not something that you're going to use all the time. You're not going to typically be using all these microphones, but it all depends on what the situation is, what you're doing, and it just gives you that versatility and full control over everything. So it's definitely something that, if you know, you just want to have this, if you don't need it necessarily now, it's something that you always want to have. Just have it in your arsenal, because you never know when you might, you know, need it. And this is something for me, you know, definitely recording a lot of interviews and stuff. This is going to come in handy. It's already, in the past 3 weeks that I've had this, is come in handy. So it's definitely something you want to check out. Now I'm going to cut this one off. I'm going to cut off my lavalier microphone. So now we're back to just the 2 shotgun microphones, the left and the right. So just to show you one more time before we end this, I'm going to pull this out. So now we're not getting any audio through here. We're getting all the audio on the right side through this microphone. Plug this out. And I believe also I can just turn it down. Let me just make sure. See, I forgot to show you guys this. I have both of these mics, and I'm going to come behind the camera. So just put your attention right here to the bars. So I'm behind this, so I'm capturing both sets of audio as clearly as possible. Now, if for some reason, let's say I can just turn the left down. So like I was telling you, you can EQ or kind of EQ your vocals. If one person might be louder or they just have a stronger voice, I can turn this down. So as you can see, the left side is going down. Now I'm going to completely turn this left side off. Now you're only seeing the right side moving. So I can turn this one back up. Let's say almost all the way. Let's say I'm going to put this one halfway, and I'm going to turn this one all the way down. So as you can see, you have a lot of control over your audio levels. So I'm going to turn everything back up. So it just, like, again, it just gives you tons of options to be able to capture as much audio as you need. So definitely give this thing a shot. Definitely check it out. A few drawbacks that I've noticed: I would like to, if it had a display, an audio display monitor, so that I can check my levels. That would be nice, but you know, hey. The battery compartment is annoying because you have to use something to pry it open to get the battery in and out. I don't know why they did it like that. So normally I keep a flathead screwdriver. There's always one around. So I always use that to pick it in and pull it out. But overall, you have to have something handy that you can stick in there, or you're going to have issues, or unless you have nails, which I don't. It's hard to get the battery in and out of the port. When the mixer is mounted to the top of the camera, it's kind of hard to keep it in place. It just doesn't stay in place. I'm gonna try to like maybe put an extra washer on there or something. It can be annoying sometimes when you're moving around a lot. A lot of times when it's just stationary and you're not doing a lot of touching it and moving it around, it's not really gonna be an issue, but it does move a lot, and depending on your situation, that'll drive you crazy. Overall though, the positives greatly outweigh the few negatives with this. And with that said, the Comica CVM-AX3 audio adapter is definitely radar approved. There is a link in the description if you want to check it out on Amazon. Till next time, thank you for tuning in. Stay focused, stay fit. Please hit that like button, show your support. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be alerted the next time something else pops up on the radar. Salute.
This is Justin, aka Demonic Sweaters, here for LinuxMusicStudio.com. Today I have another product review for you. Not review. But this is a Comica CVM-AX3 mixer. And this thing is pretty cool. What it's made for, basically, is for shooting video and being able to have a high-quality audio interface for while you're shooting video. And I wanted something like this for various reasons. I just wanted to check it out. It looked pretty cool. And let me pull it out of the box. This company, I'm actually using the light that they made that I actually did another review on before, and I can post a link to that somewhere. But I was actually pretty impressed with the quality, of their equipment. They're a Chinese company, like a lot of this stuff on Amazon. But this thing is made pretty nice. This is a solid metal construction here, and it has, if you look at it here, it has two XLR inputs on the front, as well as a right and left 1/8 inch input, and then a stereo 1/8 inch input. So these two are mono and this one's stereo. And then on the back it has a headphone output, an auxiliary input, and then your regular output. And the output is what you would use to send it to the input or wherever you want it to go. And then you also have your level adjustments right here. And then in this little section, or it's not section, but this little thing right here is the battery compartment. It uses a standard 9-volt battery. It also has 48-volt phantom power, which is very useful if you're using condenser mics. As well as, there's something on here, 3-volt power, but I'm not sure what that's used for. I mean, maybe people who are more, more versed in professional camera gear would know what that is. I don't know. But yeah, there's a 3-volt line. It also has switches for, you can switch it to line input as well as mic input, and then PH input, and that stands for phantom power. And so the phantom power, you can turn it on and off. And yeah, it's pretty cool. So I'm going to hook it up. I don't actually have a DSLR, but what I'm going to do is use it with my cell phone and then plug a microphone into it, or a couple of microphones into it, and see what I can do. So let's check it out. Alright, so I forgot to mention too that it actually has a tripod mount on the bottom that you can hook up to your standard tripod, as well as it has two sizes on there. One that's the size of my tripod, which is kind of a, a pretty standard generic tripod, and then it also has a bigger one, and then it also has a camera mount on the top of it, so you can mount your camera on top of the mixer itself. Alright, so before I actually show you the test video with the microphone plugged in, I just wanted to show you the setup I have here. And this is pretty darn cool, I have to admit. This is the Comica Lite. So I have that mounted. That came with that little holder there, that phone holder, and then I also have the Comica mixer. And then I'm running my BM800 condenser mic into the mixer, and then out from the mixer, from the output here, via, oh sorry, that's not it, that's my headphones. From the output via the 1/8 inch, and I have a splitter cable for my phone, so that splits the mic and headphone signal. And then I'm running into that, and then I have the microphone plugged into there with 48 volt phantom power, and I'm listening through the headphones, and you can see me right there a little bit. I'm listening through the headphones with the condenser mic already, and I can already tell it sounds really, really nice. So I'm going to switch over to the recorded video on the phone, and you guys can see what that looks and sounds like. Alright, so this is the video with the microphone input into the Comica mixer. And I think it sounds really good, at least listening through the headphones. Hopefully it sounds as good on the actual video that you're hearing right now. But as you can tell, just to prove that it is going through this mic, you can hear it right there. And yeah, what I would like to do too while I'm doing this is plug in another source into the mixer, like maybe like something going into the line input. So maybe what I'll do is I'll hook up my synth into that, and we can hear what that sounds like. So let me pause it real quick. All right, so now I have the Casio CZ101 plugged into it. And you can hear it right there, I think, anyways. I haven't listened to this back yet. Somebody had mentioned in one of my other videos that, where I was playing this thing in Sidling Hill, and I had it strapped on me, and they were saying that it was funny that it wasn't really a keytar, and I was using it like one. But the thing is, it actually is a keytar. The CZ101 has strap buttons. It came with them. So technically, it is a keytar, just so you know. Anyway, so that works too. I just have this going into the line input on the bottom of the mixer. And you can still hear my voice, and that light is really bright, and it makes my eyes look insane. But anyway, yeah, this thing is pretty darn cool. I'm going to try it at some point with some drums. Now, I know Android, the problem is with Android phones, because that's what I'm using right now. Drums, I already know, aren't going to work that great, at least with my phone, because Android doesn't have a way. It only has automatic gain control. There's no way to actually control the gain. Like, I could turn it up and down on this mixer, which actually that might do it enough to be able to control it. But my experience in the past when I tried to record from microphones directly into an Android phone, it tends to overload. But I'll try it anyways and see what happens. But overall, this thing is really, really nice. And for a YouTuber or a podcaster or anybody that wants like a microphone, where's the lens on my phone? I can't even see it. Is it over here, or where is it? Anyway, anybody that wants an external microphone mixer to plug into either their DSLR or their phone, this is really, really nice, and it comes with the accessories to hook it up to your tripod. And then if you get the Comica Lite too, you can have a full mixer and light setup. And they're both pretty cheap. The mixer, I think, is $100, or it's 90 some dollars, something like that. I'll post a link down below. The light, I think, is $30. So for $130, you can have, and if you have a phone already, you can have a pretty high quality sounding YouTube setup, which is pretty nice. And yeah, it's pretty cool. And I'll probably definitely be using this. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, click thumbs up, click like, subscribe, all of that stuff, and I'll see you soon. Have a good night.
Today we're covering the Comica CVM-AX3 dual channel preamp and mixer for DSLRs, as well as the Comica CVM-VO2C cardioid, which is unidirectional XLR lav microphone. Grab your headphones because we're going to be switching between 3 different devices, and you're going to want to hear the difference between the cardioid, the omnidirectional, and direct input to the camera. What you're listening to right now is that XLR lav, and we have an additional lav that we've plugged in that is an omnidirectional instead of cardioid, and you'll be able to hear the difference between the two. I'm also going to present some audio directly from the camera, and you can hear the difference in the quality. Then we will step outside for a brief moment and we'll listen to these 2 lavaliers. Now let's start with the preamp. This preamp is pretty cool. It's built so that it sits underneath your DSLR. It has the ability to accept 2 XLRs, either left and right channel. It also has the ability to accept 2 3.5 millimeter standard microphone jacks, and a left and a right, or you can plug one in as a stereo. The nice thing about having it for left and right is on the back there are adjustments so that you can adjust the gain between the left and right channel. So if you do have 2 separate mics, you may be interviewing 2 different people, and if so, one may speak a little softer or a little louder than the other. This gives you the ability to adjust it. Also, using a preamp in a DSLR or mirrorless gives you the ability to adjust the amount of gain overall that's going to go into the camera without having to use the camera preamp. So you can set your camera to a low amount of gain so that there's very little noise, and then let the Comica preamp do the job of powering the mics and the amount of input that is necessary. The other thing that's super nice about this is it does give you the ability to monitor the audio coming out so that you can hear it before it goes into your camera. This gives you the option to make some pretty good fine-tune adjustments. I like the Comica, the cardioid mic, because it doesn't pick up nearly as much of the surrounding sounds from outside or around you. If you're outside or if you're inside, it'll pick up quite a bit less audio than what you're going to hear from the omnidirectional. The omnidirectional will pick up a lot more. It's a different kind of a pattern. It's used for different kind of things, but because it picks up more, it's going to be more room sound as well, because if you're inside, that could be a little too rich for you. Now the preamp, as you can see, there's the ability to have phantom power. You can turn that on or off if your mic needs phantom power. Some mics that are not powered at all, they need a little 3-volt boost. It also has the ability to do that. As you can see in this case, I'm running 1 XLR on the left channel, and I'm running 1 3.5 millimeter standard mic on the right channel. And that's what you're listening to right now. So let's listen to some outside ambient noise, and then we'll start speaking there as well. So hang on a moment. All right, so I am now outside. I threw some bird seed down on the ground at lunchtime to see if we can get a bunch of birds over here, and it looks like we got quite a few of them. So I live right by a pretty big lake, so it's pretty easy to get birds come around. Hopefully we won't hear any cars. It's pretty quiet right now. Everybody's done doing their thing and settling in for the afternoon, but as you can hear between the two, you should be able to hear the ambient coming in from the omnidirectional and the difference in the unidirectional. So I'll just let this go for a second. So as you can hear that in the background, you can also hear the birds, what happens with the birds and the background sound when I start speaking and which one of the mics are going to be a little bit clearer. So that's a good test for now. Again, I really do like the Comica preamp. It does an awesome job. It has very little noise, and that's always great. It's almost non-negligible. And this cardioid mic, the CVM VO2, I'll put some links down in the video below. But the cardio mic does a much better job, especially when I'm out hiking and kayaking. It does not pick up nearly as much of the surrounding noises as the omnidirectional does. These guys that perform as well as the higher, more expensive components. You can't go wrong, especially if you're on a budget with the Comica line. Again, I'll post the links down below, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video.
So this is in the middle. So again, the sound will go off in a minute. I'll be talking, you won't hear me. I'm talking, speaking. And now I'm still talking. I'm going to go all the way the other way, and you'll see I'll be able to boost the signal going into the camera. It's a little higher signal, so it should be much louder than it was a minute ago. I'm not actually hearing it because I don't have headphones plugged in, which is the other great thing about the Comica. You could plug in a set of headphones. The Nikon Z50, which is the camera I'm using here, does not have a headphone jack. So I can monitor the sound coming into the mixer. Now, I'm not going to hear the levels that I hear in the camera, but it's better than nothing in terms of being able to monitor the sound that comes in. So what I would do is, if I wanted to monitor the sound coming into the mixer, plug my headphones in here. All right, so the last thing we want to do is just see if the mixer has added any preamp noise to the signal. So I'm going to get quiet here. There's a little wind outside, but we've turned up. Again, this is at mid-range, the mid-level on the input. And then this is all the way up. We just want to listen for any noise that the mixer might be adding. Okay, so that's our audio test of the Comica AX3 mixer. A lot of great features. It's an all metal case, which is great. And it allows you to add professional XLR microphones. It has phantom power to power a condenser mic that doesn't have power of its own. Overall, I think it's a really solid unit. The sound is really good. Adds a lot of features to your average DSLR or mirrorless camera. And I think it's a good value for the money. I would highly recommend this if you need the additional inputs for professional XLR microphones, or if you just want to have the ability to raise the gain and or to monitor your sound because your camera does not have a headphone jack. So you have that option on here as well. And that's the review. Thanks for watching.
Right now, let's talk about the CVM-AX3. First, it's priced just under $100, and basically, if you shoot video and you own a mirrorless DLR or DSLR camera, you do not have the ability to use XLR microphones, and more importantly, you do not have the ability to use two microphones at once. But with something like the CVM-AX3, you do. At the front of the unit, you have your two XLR inputs, and those also double as 1/4 inch inputs. Then below it, you have your 1/8 inch input for something like a Rode video mic. You'll also notice that there are various switches to the left of the inputs. You have line, mic, and pH for phantom. So yes, this does have phantom power for your professional mics that need it. So all you would need to do is switch the input to pH and then turn the phantom from off to 48 volts. Using input 2, which is your 1/8 inch or 3.5 millimeter connections, you have line, mic, or 3 volts. And yes, you can connect an XLR mic and a 3.5 millimeter mic at the same time if needed. Looking at the front of the unit, you'll notice there's a 9-volt battery compartment. Yeah, this uses 9-volt batteries, which I don't really like. But I guess that's needed for phantom power. The battery lasts for up to 40 hours when not using phantom power and 6 hours when using phantom power. So really that's actually pretty good. Underneath, you have your outputs. There's a 3.5 millimeter cable that comes with the unit for connecting to your camera. And one of the coolest things is about having a mixer like this is that it gives you headphone monitoring. As we know, not all cameras come with the headphone jack, and it's very nice to have one. To the left of the unit, there's audio knobs for raising and lowering your levels, and there's 2, so you can raise and lower each mic independently. There's a switch to switch from mono to stereo, a power light, and your on and off switch. So I use this thing at a wedding with a shotgun microphone and a wireless mic. Now, first thing to mention is that I really love having knobs to control my levels. I was using the Panasonic G85, and if you own a Panasonic mirrorless camera, you know that the preamps are hot, so the signal is very loud coming from your microphones. There's only so much you can do to turn them down, but this allows you to fine-tune your levels in real time so you can get them right where you want them. Now, you can also control the audio from the G85, but you have to do it like through the menus, and they're a little fidgety and kind of a hassle at times, and like I said, they don't go low enough in most cases. Now, second thing is it was nice being able to plug in directly to XLR and 3.5 millimeter at the same time. Connecting the unit to the camera was pretty easy, and it didn't take a lot of time actually, and it was really nice being able to monitor my audio through headphones. So for a monopod, this is a little cumbersome, so this is much better on a tripod, especially because the camera can never completely tighten to the top. It has this rubber top that slips and slides, and no matter what you do to tighten it, it's just always a little loose and it's pretty annoying. It's definitely one of those things that I don't like. Now, all in all, it worked well, and it's one way to soup up your camera and your video production in general.
All right, got the Comica set up with 2 different microphones this time. We got a Takstar here in the left channel and a Sennheiser in the right. So let's see what the Comica CVM-AX3 is all about. All the settings are the same. They're both on mic. The unit is powered on. They're both going through the mini jack. So let's see what we got. I've got both volumes all the way up. What's nice about this is it has a monitor for headphones so you can hear what's going on, which is missing if you do a lot of recording on your cell phone, which a lot of people do because the cameras are really good. So let's turn the left channel up. Left channel, left channel. And the left channel is the Takstar. So we'll switch to this audio and see what it sounds like. Left channel up, the Sennheiser is all the way down. So let's turn the right channel, the Sennheiser up. Let's see what we can hear through that. That's just right channel, right channel. Let's turn them both up. Now they're both up. Left and right, full volume on both. Let's see what this thing sounds like. All right. Got this baby hooked through the directly, the text are hooked directly through the Samsung Note 8. What we're going to do is try to run it through the Comica right now. Stand by. And on the mic setting, we definitely have some better volume there. So what's pretty cool is this device does give it a nice little boost in volume than you get other with a microphone by itself. Might save you some time in post. The CVM-AX3 gives you the capability to actually record 2 microphones with your cell phone through a headphone jack and the proper adapter if you get involved in that type of situation where you're doing interviews and you absolutely need 2 microphones, which is probably more often than not, especially if you're doing some kind of creative scenes or filming a movie or a video or a documentary or something, and you've got a couple of wireless microphones. You have 2 people in different places, and you can kind of mix these together seamlessly. Sound quality sounds pretty good. I'm not getting any weird hums or any weird noise through it. Thing's battery operated, which is great. Takes a 9-volt. I ran several tests through the weekend, and the battery seems to be fine. Still a pretty good charge on it. So I'm liking this thing, man. You can't beat the price either. CVM-AX3 by Comica, available on Amazon. Check it out. Links below. I am an Amazon affiliate. So you buy through this video and through my link, I get a kickback. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. See ya!